Dyeing wool in coffee? Really? Let's talk about that. Hey, it's Pam from Ben McFuzzy Lugs, and it's a Wednesday, so it's another needle felting equipment and supplies review. Every Wednesday I make videos just like these, so if this is something you're interested in, please don't forget, hit subscribe and come back every Wednesday. So I wanted to ask you guys, what's the colour that you find the hardest to get hold of for needle felting with? Is there a shade that you just haven't been able to get quite right yet? So, as I've confessed in the past, I have a wool problem, and though using shade selection cards can give me an idea of what's coming from the company, I still have trouble with one colour, and that tends to be the really pale, creamy, beigey honey colour of dogs like golden retrievers or Labradors. You know that colour? And I have for years been buying different shades of wool from what sounds good on the websites, trying to get just the right colour. And I keep on buying the same ones over and over again. I have about 20 packs of this colour and it's just not right. This is too yellow, too orange, too dark. I could just never find the right colours. This has been my nemesis for so long, to find this golden retriever, golden honey, corn, straw colour. And I have, thanks to some great advice from some wonderful people on the Needle Felting UK Facebook page. And if you're not in a community, I totally advise get yourself into a Facebook page or a group or any kind of community with other needle felting artists, because their help and advice is amazing. This colour is called June. It's a beautiful tops or roving, and it comes all the way from Canada. I'll leave a link in the description below for where I got this. Totally not sponsored, but it is a beautiful colour. Let's see if my camera can show you. And from Wing and Wool Works, I got this carded bat in their colour 13K. So I'll again leave a link below for this. Again, not sponsored. This is a lovely carded bats. And although the colours are not identical, they're very useful for these type of natural, light, sandy colours. But before I found them, and even now when I'm in a rush for a certain colour and I haven't got time to wait for an order to come in, I have found that you can dye your own wool with coffee, and the results are quite fun. So obviously this is something you've got to experiment about with for the amount of time you dye and the strengths and everything, but I get a nice range of colours which I'm totally happy with. And all I've used here is coffee. So into a largish bowl I take some white fibres. In this case I'm using the carded white Corriedale from Wilder Wool because that's what I'm using at the moment. It also works for rovings and any kind of natural fibres, but it just has to be in white. Any darker colours and the coffee stain just will not show up. And then using cold water I mix up some instant coffee. The cheaper the better, really. It doesn't seem to make any difference. And again, just experiment with the strengths. I don't use any science here, I just bung in some coffee powder. And the main trick with dyeing this is to be as gentle as you can with the fibres, because if we use too warm water or we agitate it too much, then you're going to felt the fibres. So I take a piece of the fibre that I'm looking to dye. I would usually use a lot more than this, but this is just for demonstration purposes. And I dunk it gently into the water. I use a spoon of some variety to get the whole thing covered. As you can see, some bubbles come off as I'm gently pressing it into the water. We want to make sure that the whole of the fibre is soaked in the coffee solution. And then I generally find it's best to weigh down whatever it is, because some bits of your fibre will actually poke up and they won't get as dyed as the other. So I just bung some pots on top, or in this case a bowl I've got kicking around. I just sit the bowl on top and then leave the fibre. And the time you leave it for depends on the colour you want, really. You can test as you go along as if you were doing a hair dye. So after several hours, take out a bit, rinse it, dry it off and see what you've got. The one you're seeing me dye just came out of the lightest colour. I just left that in for around 4 hours in a fairly weak coffee solution and I got this very lovely pale tan colour. And then leaving overnight I get much darker colour, so you can get a nice variety of shades. And once you're happy with the time that you've left your fibre in. So just gently fish it out of the solution into some kind of colander and gently rinse it in some cold water. Again, we're not wanting to agitate, we're just wanting to clear all the coffee off. You don't want it to smell of coffee. And then once that's done, keeping really gentle with the fibre, you can squeeze it a little bit to get rid of some of the moisture and then just hang it up somewhere to dry. I have one of the cheapo over the radiator racks for drying clothes, and I just hang my fibres over there. You might need to stick something underneath because they might drip a bit. If you're in a hurry, you could probably speed the process up with a hairdryer on a really cool setting. But honestly, hang it over the radiator, go have a cup of coffee, do something for a couple hours, and it should be pretty dry. And then you can have a full range of shades of this lovely sandy colour. So I hope this helped give you some ideas of where you can go for these tan colours, and also hopefully you're inspired to even have a go at dyeing some yourself. It really is dead simple. So if this video has been helpful, please don't forget to come back every Wednesday, and don't forget Thursdays are my needle felting tutorials, so come back tomorrow and you'll see how I made this Wednesday Addams needle felted picture. Thank you so much for joining me. See you next week.